E55 AMG have met before. It's always a very close contest, and this one is no exception.
And I love them both.
But we're here to name one of these two a winner. So in the interest of making the world a better place, or maybe just having a ripping good time, the Motor Trend team hit the roads and screamed around the track to see which of these hyper-performance mid-size sedans is our choice. It's a tough job, but we forced ourselves to take care of business.
Our particular test regimen not only includes track testing, of course, but a lot of road time, and that's bad roads, curvy roads, freeway, some high speed, everyday life, all sorts of conditions, and they both work really well as normal everyday cars.
First, some basic facts. The 2002 Mercedes Benz E55 AMG comes from the standard E-Class sedan, fortified by a 349 horsepower V8. Power is routed through a 5-speed touch-shift automatic transmission. Just 550 E55s will be shipped to the U.S. this year. The BMW 5 Series becomes an M5 by virtue of its race-inspired, handcrafted V8 packing 394 horses. Only 2,400 of these mile-eaters will be imported stateside this year.
Acceleration is very, very fun in these, as you can well imagine. You get out there, mash the gas in these things, and they really, really put you back in the seat. The M5 wins that contest.
The M5 blisters from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 4.6 seconds and roars through the quarter mile in just over 13 seconds. The Mercedes just barely stays in the fours as it hits 60 in 4.99 and handles the quarter mile in just under 13.5 seconds. Our box score has BMW just edging Mercedes in the sprints. Next test.
The slalom test is a very telling test for these two vehicles. The M5 is a little better balanced, pushes a little bit in the nose when it goes in, but I tell you, it rotates around the cones very well.
The BMW burns up the slalom course at nearly 67 miles per hour. The Mercedes is fast, but tops out a little slower at just under 63 miles per hour.
I think it may have something to do with E55's a little heavier in the nose, and it just doesn't rotate quite as well.
If there's anything I wasn't particularly crazy about the E55 AMG, it's the fact that it tends to get a little tail happy. When you're going through the slalom and major transitions, it's a little pendulum effect.
And the box score says BMW once again. Machines with this much go power need stopping power to match.
E55 has giant brakes on the front, comes to a stop from 60 miles per hour, about 120 feet, but the M5 beats it again, about 116 feet. I think, again, it may have something to do with a little bit of better balance on the M5.
So, the BMW not only accelerates more quickly, it also stops faster.
When you look at these two vehicles, there's very few flaws between them. I think with the Mercedes, people would still love to have a manual transmission in this car. In the BMW, if it was anything, it might be the lack of quite a bit of visual distinction. It looks a lot like a regular 5 Series.
A hands-down winner of this matchup was a tough call. A tip of the scale could come down to transmission choice or brand preference.
My personal favorite would be the AMG. I like the automatic around town. LA traffic can be murder driving a stick.
The Mercedes has an extremely solid feel. I'd say that's what I liked about it the best.
But BMW's performance gets the nod by a nose. Another slight edge. The M interior gets more upgrades over a standard 5 Series sedan than does the E55 over its E-Class brethren.
I think the BMW speaks to me as a driver. It has a lot of driver feedback. It's edgy, it's communicative, it sounds wonderful.
But this isn't to say the first runner-up is any slouch.
Well, there's a spot in my garage for either one of these.
Matt might make room for one in his garage, but I'd coddle either one in my living room. That's it for this edition of Motor Trend Television. If you'd like to know more about what you've seen on the show, just pick up the April issue of Motor Trend magazine or check out motortrend.com. I'm John Mathias. From all the editors at Motor Trend magazine, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Motor Trend Television.